It was the 13th of March, 2003. It was our daughter's 21st birthday. We had celebrated with her that day. We had friends that were business acquaintances and customers that had come in that day, and we'd shared cake with them. They'd wished her happy birthday. We'd gone out for dinner with her grandmother that night to celebrate. We'd gone home, and we were sitting quietly at home in our PJs, relaxing. It was, I think, about 9 o'clock, and the phone rang, and it was the alarm company. And he said, "Your alarms are going off." And I said, "Is it inside the store?" Because I knew if my husband had always taken these calls and I never took them. And if it was an alarm inside the store, then I would just say, disregard it because a stuffed animal's fallen off the shelf. Don't worry about it. And all of a sudden he says to me, "Oh, I just figured it out. There's a fire in the vicinity of your store." And I said to him, "We're on our way," and calmly I got off the phone and said to my husband and my daughter, "We have to go to the store. This has happened." They tell me I wasn't very calm, but in my brain I was calm. So we traveled down White Avenue, and as we traveled westbound, we could see the flames, and Grant said, "I think it's the Strathcona Hotel." And then we got to about 105th Street, and he said, no, it's not the Strathcona. So we went and we parked in behind to the east of the farmers market in that big parking lot, and we walked up in front of the farmers market. The flames were like 30 feet in the air, and we knew we were gone. We knew that the store was just finished. It couldn't survive. That building was 100 years old, tinder dry, and the whole avenue was encompassed. So we spent the whole night there. We met with the fire department, and 3 o'clock in the morning, the fire department told us that they were bringing in big equipment. They were going to tear down our building to save the block. We walked out of the area at 3:30 in the morning. The last thing I saw was the big equipment coming down White Avenue, and we went home. First thing we did was we didn't have our recipes off-site. Our recipes were all on-site. So at 3 in the morning we sat down and we wrote down every recipe we could remember from our heads. Then we laid down in bed and tried to sleep. We had a TV in our room. 6 o'clock we turned on Global. On the TV screen came a view of our store. And it was like we had never, ever existed. There was a pile of rubble. There was nothing that was distinguishing that it was Carol's Sweets. And we were just devastated. By 9 o'clock, we had a call from our insurance company, which is HDF Insurance, and we're still with them today. By noon, we were meeting with our fire adjuster for our insurance.
Okay, we'll get to the survival in a second. We'll leave you with devastation. Tell me about your devastation. What happened when the water main broke?
I think I was sleeping, and I got a text, and he was like, "Call your insurance." I was like, "What?" It was our landlord. And I was like, "What?" And I hopped on Twitter immediately. It's the fastest way to find anything. And then I saw that all the businesses on 24th Street flooded, so I put on my rain boots and sweatpants, and I ran to Home Depot, got garbage bags and squeegees, and ran over.
And this was February 15th
Yeah,
of this
the
year?
day after Valentine's Day, so I was getting over the chocolate hangover. It's a lot.
And what did you see when you got there?
I arrived a little bit later because I was also sleeping, but so I got mops and everything as well, and we called all of our friends to come and help us out because there was just water everywhere. Because it flooded from the ceiling, it just it came through like the lights and all of the openings, all the vents and everything, so it's just water in places you wouldn't expect a flood to go. So that was, we were in like disaster mode, like recovery.
Like mud. It wasn't just water because it was the water main. So it was like
mud.
There's a 3-foot mud stain along the walls of all the 124th Street because it was just like they pushed the water, so it was like a tidal wave of mud that went into everything, and then it just flooded. And I think it was running for 6 hours, so it just filled everybody with water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just epic, and we had never dealt with insurance, so we weren't sure. Actually, we had like no clue. So we cleaned everything, because that's what you do when your house is messy, you clean it. So we were scrubbing the floor and like getting everything and vacuuming and cleaning, and then we realized later when the insurance finally called us back, they're like, oh, we would have cleaned it for you. We're like, oh.
Okay,
But
so
it's
lesson 1.
just instinct to try to save it yourself.